Well, seeing it seems to be a prerequisite that you need to be under the age of 50 now, perhaps all those over the age of 50 can contribute, and that'll get us going in the bowl. I had originally planned that I was going to be speaking before the AGM, so that's basically stuffed up my plan of things. So maybe you can all put your pledges and notes in the bowl now. But a couple of things. Stuart Brooker, you embarrassed me last week by in your finding session by mentioning that I had 5 tasks for Rotary this year. I didn't know I had 5 tasks, so I had to go and look them up, and I need to apologise to, especially to Johnny Johnson and John Nimmo, because I didn't know I was on the welcoming committee. There you are. Tree planting. Can I have all of those who went tree planting on their feet, please?
Tree planting or weeding?
Or weeding. So, Peter Travis, you did. Yeah, thank you. All right.
He
now,
can't stand up.
Probably yes. We're all kneeling down, cutting grass and pulling things around. And I can tell you that it was interesting that I found that kowhais don't grow very fast. So you know, when you get a kowhai that's that big and the weeds are probably that big, it's a bit hard to find them. But I think we didn't cut any down. But Richard Norman and Peter Cornish can sit down. They were with me up the back of Mount Victoria, while the rest of you were down at Susan and Ann's having morning tea. So I think you should pay. Who's looked at the members section on the website on governance? 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't that enough? 6? Thank you. Well, can you tell me whether the 2012 AGM minutes were there? Well, if you didn't know, they weren't, so you're all fine. How many times does, I've got a thing of 4. Stephen, you did the bylaws. How many pages in the new bylaws?
2.
I counted 4.
Well, you got a bit tired, you'd be wrong.
On the website, when you scroll through, it's 4. And 4 is also the number of times that Rebecca is thanked in the annual report. So I think we should all possibly give her a vote of acclamation for her effort over the last year. And you should probably all pay for the privilege of the lack of work that you've had to do this year, because Rebecca's done so much of it for you. The previous bylaws had 17 pages, so Stephen's done a pretty wonderful job in cutting it down from 17 to 4. You'll find again. Does anyone other than Stephen know what the percentage for amendment to the proposed bylaws are required?
74.
It's mentioned as 2/3, so I suppose that's 66.67. Okay. What about the nominations committee in the revised constitution? Do you know that changed? Obviously no one did, but they accepted it. So perhaps you should all go away, because that's going to determine part of your future in the club as to the way that the president will be appointed or elected in future years. So the nominations committee's role has changed, and the process for election and appointment of the presidents has changed. 5 avenues of service that are mentioned in the Constitution. President Tony said we can't change an awful lot because it's prescribed by Rotary International, and you all know the 4-way test, so I won't ask you that. But what are the 5 avenues of service? International's 1. Vocational's 1. Yes. And what's the last one? No, head vocational. Club. So all of those of you who didn't know that, can you put some more money in the coin? And I'll close on that. Thank you.